Hello and welcome to Java with Jim. I'm Jim Reese, Director of Business Development at Offit Kurman, joined here today with Barb Clapp, CEO at the Dwyer Workforce Development Center. Barb, how are you today?
I'm great. It's
It's been a
wonderful to
while,
see
so
you.
so good to see you and chat with you. So Barb, tell us about the Dwyer Workforce Development Center. What do you do there and how do you serve the community around you?
Okay. So I'm the CEO of Dwyer Workforce Development. I was asked by Jack Dwyer, who owns CFG Bank and CFG Funding, and a number of other companies, to start this dream of his, which was to help people who lack opportunity and to improve the healthcare staffing crisis throughout the country, which is catastrophic. So I started here in June of 21, and Jack had the idea. I started us as a 501c3 and have been growing the program from just me to currently we have 34 employees in Maryland, Texas, and Florida. Our focus is on people who are underserved. So we try to find individuals through other not-for-profits, workforce boards, and just general people are starting to tell people about us. And we train people to be certified nursing assistants, which is the foundation of nursing. And we give them an opportunity we place them in school, we place them in jobs. And what I said to Jack, though, is workforce programs don't usually work because if you're underserved and you have barriers to your success that existed before you have a job, just because you have a job, that's not going to change your life circumstances, basically. So when I started this program, we added comprehensive wraparound services such as childcare, transportation, support with food insecurity, those kinds of things. And we do person-centered case management. So we do a lot of coaching of what we call Dwyer Scholars as soon as they enter the program. And once they're in our program and they've started their job, we do give them a career path to go to their next step and create some generational wealth. So they can go to something simple like a med tech, or they can tell us that they're ready to go to nursing school and we will pay for it. So we take them all the way through. Another thing we're doing is as a workforce intervention, we're building what I call healthcare villages, which is housing, childcare, and resource centers throughout this area and Texas and Florida. And we will do multi-income housing for our scholars once they get to upskilling. And they'll need to devote more time to their careers, so to their schooling and back off of their career. So we'll provide supportive housing for them and the other things. We've started one, and we've made quite a headway in East Baltimore. We're working with Bishop Hickman in East Baltimore. We already have a resource center there, and we'll be doing a groundbreaking with him next week for some housing, and eventually we'll do childcare with him.
Wow. Well, congrats on everything you guys are doing, the providing services to the underserved in a industry vertical that's really in need of and the nursing help and workforce. And I was unfamiliar with the wraparound services, but it makes perfect sense considering the group that you're servicing. So the underserved community. So, Barb, when it comes to the Dwyer Workforce Development Center, what are you most proud of?
I'm very proud that I started this from nothing. Basically, 2 years later, we have trained 5,000 Dwyer scholars throughout
Well,
Maryland, Florida, and Texas. We're soon to go to Pennsylvania and Kansas. We are in Delaware now. We just started there. And we've grown very quickly. And our success rate, though, because of the way we've set it up, is higher than it is across the country. So a CNA in their first year generally stays in the job, only 17% of them. And our retention rate is hovering around 84%. So I'm very proud of that. And I'm proud that we've built this from one person to a large team. And we've built out the services that we provide to really support the scholars. So we'll do a training support center as they call in, and that's the first place that our scholars are touched, where we do their needs assessment, and we start providing the tools they need to be successful. The next step is they're moved into a job and then into case management, which is the second prong of their growth. And that's where the case managers do a ton of coaching. You know, a lot of our scholars don't have role models for getting up and going to work and getting your children ready to go to work at school. And they really do require on-the-job coaching and financial coaching and that kind of thing. So those case managers sometimes talk to their Dwyer scholars every day. And then when they're ready to upskill, which we're finally there now because we've had the program going for 2 years, we have a career center that helps them decide what is the next step in their growth trajectory. And as you said, the healthcare staffing crisis is catastrophic. 10,000 people in the United States turn 65 every day. And it's already scary that there's not enough people to take care of the people that are aging. But as this grows and progresses, it's a really big problem in the United States. So I'm very proud of also addressing that issue.
Yeah, huge problem. Barb, can you just repeat the numbers, the industry success rate, and what your scholars, what their success rate is? I think those are really important numbers. Would you mind repeating that?
Sure. Nationally, it's 17% to keep a CNA in the job in their first year. It's just so hard. And they don't make that much money, you know? So without the supports that we give them, you understand why they fall off. It's also not a super respected job sometimes in a healthcare facility. And it's unfortunate because with our intervention, we make sure that our scholars are placed in good jobs, which has changed that retention rate as well. But a lot of times they're underestimated in their value, and they really are the ones that make a difference between somebody actually being successful in their healing process. And then the Dwyer Scholar program is hovering around 84%.
Unbelievable. And yes, I've seen it firsthand, and the people that are on the front lines there are they're the true heroes.
They also let the nurses, when you have enough CNAs, they allow the nurses to actually work up to their skill level.
To do their jobs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, for sure. What will you and Dwyer Workforce Development Center be focused on in the next 6 months?
So we're growing our geographic footprint. That's one thing that we're doing. We're also, this year, we will have trained about 3,600 scholars. So we will continue on that path this year to train about 3,600, but our additional focus this year will be on the upskilling, because we really want to see our scholars be able to eventually own a home. We have some scholars now that live in homeless shelters, who live in their cars. So I want to see that change. You know, that's really important to me. So the upskilling is very important. But the other problem is, you know, on actually an adult high school, so that we can make sure that the people can get at least an equivalent of a degree and then move into another job, because there's a lot of jobs in the healthcare field you can't do without a high school diploma, but you can be a CNA without one.
Speaking of growth, I know you've got some openings, some staff openings. Are there any particular job openings that you'd like to mention?
Yes, we've actually just finished staffing up most of our openings, but we still do have assistant comms position available. We have a great director of communications, and she needs a person to come in and do additional support. And it's a great opportunity. She's great at what she does, and very positive person. So it's a choice job.
All right. So last final question here, Barb. What do most people watching this video not know about you?
What they probably don't know is that I had a very difficult childhood. And at that time, I made up my mind that I didn't want to see someone else have that similar experience. And I wanted to give a voice to the voiceless. So I can do that now in my professional career. Prior to this, I've done it in volunteering, throughout my other career that I had before I did this. Much of my volunteer time and now my time now is giving a voice to the voiceless. And there's a lot of people that don't have a voice, and I'm very happy to be doing that.
Well, thank you for what you do and what Dwyer Workforce Development Center does. It's amazing work, and you're making the world a better place through the work that you all do. And it's just fabulous what you've been able to accomplish in pretty short time. So thanks for spending time with me. I hope to see you sometime soon. But until then, take care and have a great week.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bye.
Appreciate it.